Pure Soul members, welcome to the month of September. I'm super excited that you're here with me today. Our monthly Zoom is going to be held on the third Thursday of September at 6 p.m. So I really hope you guys can join for that. And don't forget about our monthly discount, which is 30% off a joint spiritual session. So grab your honey, your best friend, or a family member, sister, or brother, and schedule your session today. I love joint sessions because it really helps us to determine the soul to soul connection between you and the person that you're having a session with. So I encourage you to give that a shot and try it out. I think you're really going to like it. I do want to thank you for being part of the Alma Pura Pure Soul community. It just means so much to me, and I love sharing my time and my energy and my spiritual relationship with you. And I love our monthly Zoom. So don't forget to join. I can't wait for that this month. I wanted to let you all know that I finally finished the Empathy and Me workshop. So if you are interested in taking a look at that, I really am so excited that this is finally complete and I'm able to share it with you. If you're interested in learning more about it, you can take a look at the Alma Pura Awakenings homepage in the announcement section, and you'll see all the information about the Empathy and Me workshop, and you may kind of want to give it a shot. It really helps us to cultivate the best experience that we can have in our interpersonal relationships, and it enhances even more so the relationship that we have with ourselves. So I hope you give it a shot. And yeah, so let's get started on our spiritual focus topic for the month of September. So, did you ever hear the saying, meet them where they're at? Or have you ever found yourself saying, I wish people could just meet me where I'm at? I find that to be such a difficult topic to discuss because when we say that and when we encourage that we meet people where they're at, or where we wish that people would meet us where we are at, what are we actually trying to say when we say that? If I want you to meet me where I'm at, do I know where I'm at? And if we're supposed to meet others where they're at, do we know where they're at? So I started to reflect on that a little bit, and I started to really think about it. And I thought, well, where am I at? Where do I come from when I'm communicating something to someone? And how do I typically present myself in a conversation with somebody? And so I kind of reflected on that, and it was a little difficult for me to kind of determine that for myself. But when I thought about it and I sat down and I thought about it, how do I present myself to the world around me? Like, what is that thing that I give to people? And what I have always kind of prided myself on is that I'll be there for you. I might not be there for you every single day, but when you need me, I am going to be there for you. So, since that's what I kind of give away to the world, then I guess what I would expect when I ask you to meet me where I'm at is to recognize that I might want to make sure that if I need you, you'll be there for me. And so I express that in particular ways when I'm communicating with somebody, probably because I talk about being overwhelmed, or I talk about a feeling of insecurity. Or, for example, if I haven't made enough money to pay my mortgage, I might say, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money to pay my mortgage. And so when I think about the things that I show up for people for, whether it's a spiritual thing or a human thing, that's where I speak from. So I kind of speak from my root energy, because that's where I am offering myself to you for whatever you need me for. And when I get into an insecure or overwhelming feeling, if you offer to me, hey, I'll be there for you, what can I do to help you? And what that simple phrase does, what can I do to help you? It relaxes my root chakra. It takes away that fear of insecurity or that feeling of being overwhelmed, because then I don't feel all alone in those experiences that I have in my life. So that's where I speak from. I speak from my root chakra. That's what I'm going to use to show up for you. And that's what I want from you. So if you think about where do other people come from, I can give you an example of that. So Marissa, my daughter, she speaks from her solar plexus. And solar plexus energy is all about self identification and validation. And it really doesn't matter what I tell this kid. If I tell her how I'm feeling, or if I tell her that I'm down, or if I tell her that something is going on in my life, she is always right there to say to me, like, I'm so sorry, mom, that that happened. I'm so sorry, mom, that you feel that way. And what I've noticed is that what she gives to the world around her is this validation, this experience of whoever you are, whatever you feel, it's totally fine. You get to be exactly who you are. And so if I want to meet Marissa where she's at, then I need to recognize how she defines herself and what's important to her. And I need to encourage her to honor herself and to do what makes her feel good, and that she's allowed to feel her feelings and that she doesn't have to put them on the back burner, because she's the person that always allows everyone to feel their feelings and even validates and encourages them from that point. Now, Brittany, my older daughter, she speaks very much from the crown chakra, and she can give you the best plan in the world. If you have a problem and you drop it in Brittany's lap, she has this inner intuition that just pops into her head, that she can break down these huge, complex ideas into smaller packets of information that I can digest and that I can get clarity on. So if I want to meet Brittany where she's at, then my way of showing up for her is going to be asking her a lot of questions, asking her questions that will help her clarify things in her own mind. So if I want to meet Brittany, I need to meet her in the crown chakra where she's at. If I want to meet Marissa where she's at, I need to meet her in the solar plexus chakra. And if you want to meet me, you can meet me in the root chakra, because I'm always about trying to fix things that are happening in my environment and organize them in a way that feels comfortable and less stressful for me. And so I usually, in my stress moments, I usually find myself in the root chakra with a little bit of imbalance. So if you think about where you show up for people, you'll recognize where you struggle at. And I think that's important because we have to meet ourselves where we are at, and we have to meet others where they are at. So if I'm overwhelmed and I need to meet myself where I'm at, then I need to utilize some of the gift from Brittany that will bring me clarity, some of the validation from Marissa to tell me that it's okay for me to feel the way I feel. And then she'll give me loving responses for me to cut myself some slack, give myself a break. And then if I show up where I'm at, then with their information, I can show up for myself at the root. So the people in our lives are so important. If we know where they speak from, and if we can identify the gift we see that we receive from them, then we'll be able to recognize how to give them that gift back. Now, just keep in mind that you don't have to try to be who you are for anyone. That is natural and that is a given. So if my kids run into a problem, since I speak from the root, I'm going to try to rescue them. I'm going to try to save them from whatever difficulty they're having. If it's emotional, I'm going to be the shoulder to cry on. If it's financial, I'm going to try to give you a few $100s if I have it. And so I'm going to do that automatically and regularly because that's where I speak from. So I'm going to try to save you in whatever way I can, since the root chakra has really been my challenge through life. And what my goal is to be natural and give the gift I always give. But when someone is broken, when someone is really down, they need back the gift that they give away. So meet people where they are at, meet yourself where you are at and recognize that in order for you to heal, you have to meet yourself where you're at. And the best way to do that is by touching base and making that soul to soul connection with the people in your life, because God put them there for a reason. None of us together should ever run feeling like we have a deficit of love in our life, whether that deficit comes from ourselves or it comes from others. So I encourage you, meet people where they're at.